the tide. I'm paralyzed, can't find the words, caught in the silence, nothing's heard. Wanna bounce to you, but my feet won't move. What do I do? What do I prove? When everything's crashing down, I'm lost, can't make a sound. Eyes wide open, but the world's gone dark. Every thought's a shadow, every word's a spark. I'm trying not to be strong, but I'm breaking inside. Can't fix what's broken, can't turn back the tide. I'm paralyzed, can't find the words, caught in the silence, nothing's heard. Wanna bounce to you, but my feet won't move. What do I do? What do I prove? When everything's crashing down, I'm lost, can't make a sound. In the quiet, I'm screaming inside. In the dark, I'm searching for light, but I'm stuck in the middle, nowhere to go. Trying to be the strength you need, but I don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we gather to reflect on a profound truth that resonates throughout the ages. God is all you need in a world rife with distractions and disillusionment. This statement may seem simplistic or even naive. Yet at its core, it holds the key to understanding our purpose, our identity, and our ultimate fulfillment. As we delve into this theme, we will explore how the presence of the divine in our lives can transform our experiences and guide us through the labyrinth of existence. The nature of God's presence. At the heart of understanding that God is all we need lies an exploration of the very nature of His presence. The divine is not merely an abstract concept, it is an active, living force that permeates our existence. When we seek God, we are not merely looking for a distant figure, we are engaging with the essence of life itself. This presence offers comfort and companionship, a steady anchor amidst the storms of our lives. It invites us into a relationship where we can express our deepest fears, hopes, and desires. The omnipresence of God reminds us that we are never truly alone. In moments of despair, we often feel abandoned, yet the divine remains ever near, waiting for us to turn our hearts toward Him. This awareness can reshape our understanding of loneliness and despair. When we recognize that God is always within reach, we find solace even in our darkest hours. This relationship offers an intimacy that no earthly bond can replicate. Furthermore, the nature of God's presence is transformative. It ignites within us a desire to seek goodness, truth, and beauty in the world around us. We begin to see that our lives are imbued with purpose, and our suffering can serve a higher good. This awareness does not diminish our pain, rather it reframes it, providing a context within which we can understand our experiences as part of a larger tapestry woven by the Creator. In our search for fulfillment, we often look to external sources, relationships, achievements, or possessions. Yet these pursuits can only offer fleeting satisfaction. When we shift our focus to the divine, we discover a deeper well of contentment that transcends the material. This is not a denial of the importance of human connection or worldly success. Rather, it is an acknowledgement that these things, while valuable, cannot fulfill us in the way that God can. Ultimately, embracing the nature of God's presence in our lives invites us to engage in a profound journey of self-discovery. As we come to know Him, we come to know ourselves, our strengths, our weaknesses, and our potential. This relationship becomes a mirror reflecting the truth of our being, illuminating the path we are meant to walk, the source of true fulfillment. In our contemporary society, we often chase after various forms of fulfillment, career success, romantic relationships, or material possessions. However, these pursuits, while seemingly rewarding, often leave us yearning for something more substantial. The recognition that God is all we need opens our eyes to the reality that true fulfillment cannot be found in the transient things of this world. Instead, it lies in our connection with the divine. True fulfillment begins with the realization that our worth is not defined by external accolades or societal approval. The love of God is unconditional, offering a sense of belonging that transcends the ephemeral nature of human relationships. When we ground our identities in our Creator, we cultivate a sense of worth that is steadfast and unwavering. This foundation enables us to face life's challenges with resilience and grace. Moreover, the pursuit of worldly fulfillment often leads us to a cycle of discontent. No matter how much we achieve, we may find ourselves in a constant state of wanting. This insatiable desire can create an internal void that nothing in the material realm can fill. In contrast, when we seek fulfillment through our relationship with God, we find a wellspring of joy and contentment that is ever present and renewing. The journey towards discovering God as our ultimate source of fulfillment invites us to engage in spiritual practices that nurture our connection to the divine. Prayer, meditation, and acts of service become pathways through which we can experience God's presence more fully. These practices not only deepen our understanding of our relationship with God, but also cultivate a sense of gratitude and appreciation for the life we have been given. As we embrace this truth, we begin to understand that fulfillment is not a destination but a journey. It is found in the everyday moments of grace and beauty that God places before us. The more we align our lives with this understanding, the more we open ourselves to the abundance that comes from being in relationship with the divine. The power of faith in adversity. Life inevitably brings challenges and trials that can shake our very foundations. In such times, the belief that God is all we need becomes a beacon of hope and strength. Faith acts as a lifeline, connecting us to a power greater than ourselves, enabling us to navigate adversity with courage and resilience. When we lean on our faith, we are reminded that we are part of a larger story, one that is infused with purpose and meaning. Adversity often serves as a catalyst for growth. It pushes us to confront our limitations and to seek strength beyond our own capabilities. In moments of struggle, we may feel a profound sense of helplessness. Yet when we turn our hearts toward God, we tap into a reservoir of strength that empowers us to endure. This does not mean that our challenges will vanish, but it does mean we can face them with a renewed sense of hope and determination. Faith provides a framework through which we can interpret our suffering. Rather than viewing hardship as purely negative, we can begin to see it as an opportunity for spiritual development. This perspective invites us to ask not why this is happening to us, but what we can learn from it. In the crucible of adversity, we often discover aspects of ourselves that we never knew existed, leading to profound transformation. Moreover, the power of faith during tough times creates a community of support. When we share our struggles with others who also believe in the sustaining power of God, we foster a sense of belonging and solidarity. This communal aspect of faith can be a powerful antidote to isolation, reminding us that we are not alone in our trials. We can lift one another up, providing encouragement and strength when it is most needed. Ultimately, faith in the face of adversity teaches us about the nature of hope. It is not a passive resignation to fate, but an active choice to trust in the goodness of God. This trust cultivates an inner peace that allows us to navigate life's uncertainties with grace. In embracing this faith, we find that we are equipped to face whatever challenges may arise, secure in the knowledge that God is indeed all we need. The gift of grace. One of the most profound aspects of understanding that God is all we need is the realization of His grace. Grace is not merely a theological concept, it is the very essence of our relationship with the divine. It is a gift freely given, a reminder that we are loved and accepted just as we are. This understanding liberates us from the burdens of perfectionism and self-condemnation, allowing us to approach life with a spirit of humility and gratitude. In our human experience, we often grapple with feelings of inadequacy. We may believe that we must earn love and acceptance through our actions or achievements. However, grace teaches us that we are inherently worthy, not because of what we do, but because of who we are as children of God. This revelation shifts our perspective, enabling us to embrace our flaws and failures as part of our journey rather than as disqualifiers of our worth. Moreover, grace invites us into a deeper understanding of forgiveness. When we recognize that we have received grace, we are more equipped to extend that same grace to others. This creates a ripple effect of compassion and understanding in our relationships, allowing us to foster a community that embodies the love of God. Forgiveness becomes a transformative act, healing wounds and bridging divides that might otherwise separate us. Grace also offers us a sense of freedom. It frees us from the need to strive for unattainable standards and allows us to rest in the assurance that we are already accepted. This freedom is liberating. It encourages us to explore our gifts and passions without fear of judgment. In this space, we can become who we are meant to be, unencumbered by the weight of expectation. Ultimately, embracing the gift of grace shapes our identity and our interactions with the world. It invites us to live authentically, grounded in the knowledge that we are loved unconditionally. This realization empowers us to extend grace to ourselves and others, fostering a culture of love and acceptance. In a world that often emphasizes performance and perfection, grace reminds us that we are all worthy of love, just as we are. On the call to love. When we come to understand that God is all we need, we also recognize our calling to love. Love is not merely an emotion, it is a powerful force that shapes our actions, our relationships, and our purpose. As
Morning kiss, soft and sweet, a new day's bliss. Midnight bliss, underneath the moon, soft kiss. Hold me tight, in the dark you're my guiding light. Can't resist, in your arms everything feels right. In every touch my heart ignites it new. My love, there's no more fight. You are a star in the world, you're the brightest spark, shining bright, illuminating every darkened night. In my heart, with you loves a work go on all the night. In your embrace, I take flight. In your light, I find my way. Every moment I want to stay. Whisper close, soft secrets that only we know. Feel the glow. In your presence, time moves slow. Touch my soul. Your love's the fire that makes me whole. Let it shows. Together, let our true selves unfold. I'm who, every whisper, all our story told. In your eyes, my heart's been sold. You are a star in the world, you're the brightest spark, shining bright, illuminating every darkened night. In my heart, with you loves a world go on all the night. In your embrace, I take flight. Oh baby, with you every day feels right. In your love I find my light. Stay with me, let's dance under the moonlit sea. Just be free, in your arms I find my plea. In your light, I find strength, I find my might. I believe in this love we're meant to be. Ooh, in your light, my dreams take flight. With you, everything feels right. You are a star in the world, you're the brightest spark, shining bright, illuminating every darkened night. In my heart, with you loves a world go on all the night. In your embrace, I take flight. Oh, oh no, together we shine so bright.
As we deepen our relationship with God, we become vessels of His love, called to share that love with others. This calling transforms our lives and the lives of those around us, creating a ripple effect of compassion and kindness. The call to love challenges us to look beyond ourselves. In a culture that often promotes individualism, we are reminded that our lives are interconnected. When we embrace our identity as children of God, we become part of a larger family, one that transcends boundaries of race, class, and culture. This understanding invites us to act in ways that promote unity and understanding, bridging divides that often separate us. Moreover, love is inherently sacrificial. It requires us to step outside our comfort zones and prioritize the needs of others. This may manifest in small acts of kindness or in larger commitments to serve those in need. The call to love asks us to engage with the world, to see the face of God in those we encounter, and to respond with compassion. It invites us to reflect on how we can contribute positively to the lives of others, embodying the very essence of the divine. Additionally, the call to love empowers us to confront injustice. When we recognize that we are all created in the image of God, we cannot turn a blind eye to the suffering of others. Love compels us to advocate for those who are marginalized, to speak out against injustice, and to work towards a more equitable world. This commitment to love is a transformative act that can bring about meaningful change in our communities and beyond. Ultimately, the call to love is a reminder that we are not merely recipients of God's love, but also agents of that love in the world. It invites us to cultivate a spirit of generosity and compassion, recognizing that our lives are enriched when we share love with others. In embracing this calling, we discover that God is indeed all we need, not just for our own fulfillment, but for the flourishing of all creation. The importance of community. But understanding that God is all you need invites us into a deeper appreciation for the importance of community. In our spiritual journeys, we are not meant to walk alone. God has designed us for connection, for fellowship, and for mutual support. When we come together as a community of believers, we create a space where we can grow, learn, and encourage one another in our pursuit of the divine. Our community serves as a source of strength during times of trial. When we face adversity, it is often the support of our community that helps us navigate through the darkness. We find comfort in shared experiences, and we gain wisdom from the perspectives of others. This interconnectedness fosters resilience and reminds us that we do not have to bear our burdens alone. Together we can lift one another up and navigate the complexities of life. Moreover, being part of a community allows us to express our faith in tangible ways. We are given opportunities to serve one another, whether through acts of kindness, sharing resources, or providing emotional support. These acts of service become a manifestation of our love for God and for one another. In this way, our faith is not just a personal journey, but a collective one that shapes the world around us. Our community also provides a space for accountability and growth. In relationships marked by love and trust, we can challenge one another to grow deeper in our faith and understanding. We can share our struggles and victories, learning from each other's experiences. This mutual support creates an environment where we are encouraged to step out of our comfort zones and embrace the fullness of our calling. Ultimately, the importance of community lies in its ability to reflect the nature of God Himself. Just as the Trinity embodies perfect relationship and unity, we are called to mirror that love and connection in our own lives. By fostering community, we create a glimpse of the kingdom of God on earth, a place where all are welcomed, loved, and valued. In this shared journey, we come to understand that God is indeed all we need, both individually and collectively. The role of prayer. As we explore the truth that God is all we need, we cannot overlook the profound role of prayer in our lives. Prayer is not merely a ritual, It is an invitation to engage in a dialogue with the Creator. It is through prayer that we cultivate our relationship with God, laying bare our hearts and opening ourselves to His guidance and love. This sacred practice transforms our perspective, grounding us in the knowledge that we are in communion with the divine. Prayer serves as a means of communication, a channel through which we can express our gratitude, our fears, and our desires. In the stillness of prayer, we can pour out our hearts, finding solace in the knowledge that God is listening. This intimate connection fosters a sense of belonging and acceptance, reminding us that we are valued and loved. Moreover, prayer can be a source of strength in times of trial. When faced with uncertainty or difficulty, turning to God in prayer can provide comfort and reassurance. It allows us to surrender our worries and anxieties, trusting that God is in control. This act of surrender is liberating, freeing us from the burden of trying to navigate life on our own. Additionally, prayer invites us to seek God's will for our lives. In our fast-paced world, it can be easy to become consumed by our plans and ambitions. Yet through prayer we are reminded to pause, reflect, and listen for the still, small voice of God. This practice helps us align our desires with His purpose, guiding us toward a life that is fulfilling and meaningful. Ultimately, the role of prayer in our journey toward understanding that God is all we need cannot be overstated. It is a sacred practice that deepens our relationship with the divine, providing us with strength, guidance, and comfort. In the act of prayer, we find a sense of peace that transcends our circumstances, reminding us that we are never alone in our journey. Embracing suffering as a path to growth. In our quest to understand that God is all we need, we must confront the reality of suffering. Pain and hardship are intrinsic to the human experience, and while we may wish to avoid them, they often serve as catalysts for profound growth. Embracing suffering allows us to deepen our relationship with God, to cultivate resilience, and to discover the transformative power of grace. Suffering can force us to confront our vulnerabilities and limitations. In moments of pain, we may feel stripped bare, forced to reckon with our deepest fears and insecurities. However, this confrontation can lead to a deeper understanding of ourselves and our reliance on God. When we recognize that we are not in control, we become more open to receiving God's strength and guidance, which can lead to significant personal transformation. Moreover, suffering often leads to empathy and compassion. When we experience pain, we are more likely to understand the struggles of others. This shared experience of suffering creates a bond that can unite us in our humanity. As we lean into this understanding, we are compelled to reach out to others in their pain, embodying the love and compassion of Christ. This connection can serve as a powerful reminder that we are all in this together. Additionally, suffering invites us to explore our faith more deeply. In moments of despair, we may question our beliefs or struggle to find meaning. Yet, it is often in these moments of questioning that our faith is refined. As we wrestle with our doubts and seek God in the midst of our pain, we can emerge with a faith that is deeper and more resilient. This process of grappling with suffering can lead us to a greater understanding of God's character and His presence in our lives. Ultimately, embracing suffering as a path to growth allows us to transform our perspective on hardship. Rather than viewing suffering as a punishment or a sign of abandonment, we can see it as an opportunity for spiritual development. In this way, we discover that even in our darkest moments, God is indeed all we need, a constant source of strength, comfort, and love that sustains us through every trial. A call to action. Understanding that God is all you need brings with it a call to action. This realization is not meant to leave us passive or complacent. Instead, it invites us to engage actively in the world around us. When we recognize the abundance of God's love and provision in our lives, we are compelled to share that love with others. This call to action takes many forms, from acts of kindness to advocacy for justice. The call to action challenges us to reflect on how we can embody the love of God in our daily lives. This may manifest in simple gestures, a smile, a kind word, or a helping hand to someone in need. These small acts can create a ripple effect, transforming the lives of those around us and fostering a culture of love and compassion. Each act of love is a testament to the truth that God is all we need, and it becomes a reflection of His character. Moreover, the call to action invites us to address systemic injustices in our communities. When we understand that God's love extends to all, we cannot ignore the suffering of others. This awareness compels us to advocate for change, to speak out against injustice, and to work toward a more equitable society. By aligning our actions with our faith, we can contribute to the greater good, embodying the values of love and justice that God calls us to uphold. Additionally, engaging in acts of service can deepen our understanding of God's presence in our lives. When we serve others, we step outside of our own needs and desires, focusing on the needs of those around us. This shift in perspective can transform our understanding of fulfillment, revealing that true joy often comes from giving rather than receiving. In this way, we become conduits of God's love, experiencing His presence in profound and meaningful ways. Ultimately, the call to action is a reminder that our faith is not a passive belief but an active engagement with the world. By embracing this call, we discover that God is indeed all we need, not just for our own fulfillment, but as a source of strength and inspiration that empowers us to make a difference in the lives of others. In this way, our understanding of the divine becomes a catalyst for positive change, both in ourselves and in the world. The promise of eternity. As we reflect on the truth that God is all we need, we cannot overlook the promise of eternity that lies at the heart of our faith. This promise offers us hope and assurance, reminding us that our lives are part of a larger narrative that extends beyond this earthly existence. When we understand that our ultimate fulfillment is found in God, we can approach life with a sense of purpose and anticipation. The promise of eternity invites us to shift our focus from the temporal to the eternal. In a world that often emphasizes immediate gratification and material success, this perspective challenges us to consider the lasting significance of our choices and actions. When we anchor our lives in the hope of eternity, we begin to prioritize what truly matters: relationships, love, and the pursuit of righteousness. Moreover, the promise of eternity provides comfort in the face of suffering and loss. When we encounter hardship or witness the pain of others, we can hold fast to the assurance that God's love transcends our current circumstances. This hope enables us to endure with grace, trusting that there is a greater purpose at work. We are reminded that this life is not the end, rather, it is a journey toward a fulfillment that awaits us beyond the veil of death. Additionally, understanding the promise of eternity shapes our approach to life and death. It encourages us to live boldly, to pursue our passions, and to embrace the call to love and serve others. When we recognize that our time on this earth is finite, we are inspired to make the most of each moment, to invest in relationships, and to leave a legacy of love and kindness. This awareness can infuse our lives with meaning, guiding us toward a more intentional and purpose-driven existence. Ultimately, the promise of eternity serves as a reminder that God is all we need, not just for today, but for all of eternity. It invites us to cultivate a relationship with the divine that transcends the limitations of this world, offering us a glimpse of the eternal joy that awaits us. In this understanding, we find a sense of peace and assurance, knowing that our lives are held securely in the hands of a loving God who has prepared a place for us in His eternal kingdom. In the journey of recognizing that God is all we need is both profound and transformative. It invites us into a deeper understanding of His presence, the source of true fulfillment, the power of faith in adversity, the gift of grace, the call to love, the importance of community, the role of prayer, the embrace of suffering, the call to action, and the promise of eternity. As we walk this path, may we open our hearts to the truth that God is indeed our ultimate source of strength, hope, and love. In Him we find our identity, our purpose, and our deepest fulfillment. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.